The world you see around you is not fixed. It is clay, and you are the potter. It molds itself to the image you hold within. You win not by force, nor by struggle, but by focus, pure, unwavering, faithful focus. Where your attention goes, your world follows. If you continually entertain thoughts of lack, life will oblige you with more lack. If you dwell in the awareness of abundance, the gates of provision open. The great illusion is thinking the outer world moves first. It does not. The outer is the echo, the shadow, the delayed mirror of what you are steadily focused on within. Do not ask, when will it happen? That question belongs to the one who is focused on the absence. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you have already won. You have stepped into the scene where it is done, and that scene must play out. You do not have to manipulate people or beg the world. The world is yourself pushed out. When you change your focus, you change the script. If you focus on peace, peace becomes your companion. If you focus on love, love begins to seek you. If you focus on being chosen, life arranges itself so that you are chosen again and again. But you cannot serve two masters. You cannot say you believe and then entertain doubt. You cannot say you are healed and still cling to the symptoms. Choose this day whom you will serve, your fear or your faith. Withdraw your attention from what you do not wish to continue. Let it wither. Let it die by starvation. Then turn your gaze with conviction to the world you want. Water it with your attention. Nourish it with your imagination. Saturate it with your inner speech. And when doubt comes knocking, and it will, you do not open the door. You return to the state where the outcome is already true. You see, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you focus on with emotional certainty. And in that focus, in that single-pointed vision, you become magnetic. What you focus on, you win. Imagination is the foundation of reality. There is no outer world that exists independent of your inner world. Everything you see, touch, and experience was first imagined. Before a building stands, an architect envisions it. Before a book is written, a writer sees it play out in the theater of their mind. Your life is no different. It is not chance or luck or fate that has sculpted your experiences. It is your imagination, whether you have used it consciously or not. What you consistently focus on in your inner world becomes the form and substance of your outer world. The thoughts you entertain most, the scenes you replay, the inner conversations you carry throughout your day, they are not meaningless. They are seeds, and like any seed, they grow in time, producing fruit after their own kind. You do not plant a fig tree and expect oranges. Likewise, you do not plant thoughts of fear, lack, rejection, or unworthiness and harvest peace, abundance, love, and purpose. The law is just. It gives you exactly what you have accepted as true within. Most people do not realize they are using their imagination all the time. They believe they are reacting to life, when in truth they are creating it with every reaction. When you imagine the worst, expect the worst, dwell on the worst, you create a path for the worst to arrive. But when you begin to take control of your inner world, when you dare to imagine the best, even when the outer world suggests otherwise, you invoke a higher power. You awaken the creative force that reshapes circumstances to match your inner conviction. There is no power outside of you shaping your life arbitrarily. It is your sustained attention, your inner focus, that determines what materializes. You must learn to be deliberate with what you give life to in your mind. Every image, every word you speak inwardly, every feeling you accept without question. These are not idle things. They are acts of creation. Imagination is not some child's game or fleeting fantasy. It is the workshop of reality. The inner scene you rehearse repeatedly is the blueprint, and just as surely as the sun rises, what you accept and feel to be true within will express itself without. Life is not responding to what you want. It is responding to what you believe. And belief is nothing more than imagination sustained. So, if you wish to change your life, do not run around trying to fix everything on the outside. Do not chase results or people or circumstances. Instead, turn inward. Ask yourself, what am I consistently imagining to be true? What am I focusing on when I am alone? What scene do I replay when I think of my future? These are the answers that matter. If your inner world is chaotic, your outer world will mirror that chaos. But if your inner world is rich with clarity, peace, and confidence, the outer must follow. Begin today to imagine better. Hold in your mind the image of the life you wish to live. See it clearly. Feel it deeply. Return to it often. And without effort, your reality will begin to reshape itself in the likeness of your focus. That is the law. Feeling is the secret. Thought alone is not enough. It is the emotion behind the thought that gives it life, weight, and direction. You can say 1,000 affirmations, picture endless visions in your mind, but if they are not felt, if they are not soaked in conviction and belief, they are empty, powerless shells. The world does not respond to your words, it responds to the feeling your words carry. It is not enough to merely think of what you want. You must feel as though it is already yours. The emotion behind your focus is the fuel. Just as a fire needs heat to burn, your imagination needs feeling to create. Focus without emotion is like a car without gas. It may have structure, but it has no movement, no energy to bring you to your destination. When you combine focused thought with deep, sincere feeling, you create an inner reality so rich and alive that the outer world cannot help but conform to it. Neutral focus produces neutral results. Many people wonder why their affirmations do not work, why their visualizations yield no change. It is often because they are going through the motions. They speak the words, they see the scene, but they do not feel it. They say, I am wealthy, while feeling uncertain. They imagine love while feeling lonely. In doing so, they give mixed signals to the creative power within. The subconscious is not moved by logic or repetition alone. It is moved by feeling. It responds to what you accept as true, emotionally and internally, whether that truth is empowering or limiting. But passionate, faithful focus produces transformation. When you feel something deeply, you impress it upon your inner self. The feeling of already being what you desire to be is the very key that unlocks the door. It is not the condition that brings the feeling. It is the feeling that brings the condition. The world mirrors back to you what you believe to be true in your heart, not what you merely hope for with your lips. This is why you must live in the end, not physically but emotionally. You must enter the state of the wish fulfilled and feel it real. When you close your eyes and imagine, do not do so as a spectator. Enter the scene, touch the objects, hear the sounds, breathe the air. Most importantly, feel the joy, the peace, the satisfaction, as if it were happening now. Let your entire body respond to the reality of it. That feeling is the signal. That is what sends the message to your deeper self that this is real, this is now, this is done. Nothing changes until you change your feeling. You cannot fake it with empty words or shallow thoughts. But the moment you change your inner vibration, when you feel abundant instead of desperate, loved instead of rejected, powerful instead of helpless, you shift your entire world. Feel your way into the life you desire. Become the person who already has it. Let that feeling guide your thoughts, your actions, and your assumptions. And in time, the outer world will catch up with the inner. The feeling you nurture and sustain becomes the reality you live. This is the secret that has always been hidden in plain sight. Feeling is the creative force, the true key, the doorway to all change. Guard it, master it, use it well. You cannot serve two masters. Within you lies the power to shape your world, but that power demands loyalty. It cannot operate in confusion or contradiction. To serve two masters is to try and walk two opposing paths at once, one toward faith and one toward fear, one toward fulfillment and one toward doubt. And when you divide your mind, you dilute your energy. The result is stagnation, frustration, and delay. Nothing moves because you are moving in two directions at the same time. Divided attention weakens your creative power. Your consciousness is not a casual observer. It is the cause of everything you experience. But it must be aimed. Just as light becomes a laser when focused, your inner power becomes transformational when concentrated. If your thoughts are scattered, your results will be scattered. If your focus shifts between desire and disbelief, your reality will reflect that indecision. Many try to affirm what they want while secretly fearing it won't happen. They imagine the best but rehearse the worst. They pray for abundance but expect delay, and in doing so they split their allegiance. One moment they dwell in possibility, and the next they drown in contradiction. The creative force within does not know which seed to grow, so it waits. It mirrors not your words but your dominant feeling, your true master. Focused consciousness is singular and unwavering. It does not negotiate with appearances. It does not plead with the world to change. Instead, it rests fully in the assumption that the desired state already exists. It refuses to be pulled back into the old story. It remains fixed, steady, immovable, regardless of what the outer world tries to say. This is not about blind denial. It is about spiritual discipline. When you choose to believe in your vision despite contrary evidence, you are not ignoring reality. You are creating a new one. You are declaring that your inner world is the cause and the outer world is merely the effect. And when you hold that inner vision with total faith, the outer must bend. It has no choice. You must decide what you serve. Will you serve your dream or your doubt? Will you serve what is possible or what is probable? Will you serve the voice that says it is already done or the one that says it's too late? You cannot serve both. You must choose one and then live as though that choice is final. This is why true manifestation requires inner clarity. You must know what you want and give your entire being to it, your thoughts, your emotions, your assumptions. You must become one with the state you desire as though there were no other reality. That unity of focus is what draws unseen forces to work in your favor. It is what opens doors, changes minds, and bends circumstances. So the next time doubt creeps in, remember this: it is not the world that is uncertain. It is your attention that has wavered. Return to the vision. Anchor yourself in it. Speak to it. Feel it. Live in it. Make it your only master. Only then does your world align. Only then does your power rise. Only then do you realize the truth. Divided minds delay, but focused hearts create. Assume the state of the wish fulfilled. That is the key. Not hoping, not begging, not waiting, but assuming. To assume is to believe, to accept as true. To walk in the certainty that what you desire is already yours. This is not pretense or fantasy. It is the creative act of faith. And in this inner movement, reality begins to shape itself around your inner conviction. You are not waiting for the world to change. The world is responding to the change within you. To win, you must mentally live in the reality where you already possess the outcome. Your senses may tell you otherwise. The world may scream that nothing has changed. But if you accept that outer appearances are simply the echo of former thoughts, then you understand the truth. Change happens first within. The moment you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you have entered the new state, and everything else must conform to it. This is why you cannot dwell in lack while trying to manifest abundance. You cannot cling to loneliness and expect love to show up. You cannot identify as a struggler and hope for success. Your inner world must match the condition you desire. You must feel the reality of it so clearly that it becomes natural to you. That feeling, that assumption, is the seed. And just as a seed planted in rich soil produces fruit after its kind, so does your assumption bring forth its manifestation. Many people ask, how long will it take? But the better question is, how long will you persist in the assumption? The outer world is slow to respond, not because the power is weak, but because the mind keeps wavering. One moment it accepts the new state, the next it falls back into the old. This back and forth delays the harvest. But once the assumption is fixed, once it becomes your dwelling place, not just a passing thought, the world begins to shift. You must feel from the end, not toward it. Do not imagine yourself wanting, imagine yourself having. Do not imagine the path, imagine the destination already reached. What do you feel? What do you see? What do you hear in that place where it is done? That feeling, saturated with confidence and peace, is the magnet. It draws the unseen into the seen. The assumption must be so alive within you that you no longer question it. You don't wonder if the sun will rise tomorrow, you expect it. You don't doubt your breath will come, you live as if it already has. That same certainty must be applied to your desire. It is done. You are it. There is nothing more to get, only more to realize. This is not arrogance. It is spiritual alignment. You are not forcing the world to obey you. You are aligning with the truth of who you are. You are a creative being, born not to react to life, but to direct it from within. And the only focus that bears fruit is the focus that is sustained by assumption, not doubt. So assume the state now. Enter into the joy, the gratitude, the peace of the one who already has. Let that be your secret dwelling. Let it color your words, your choices, your energy. And soon the world will reflect what you have dared to believe in silence. Your attention is your most sacred currency. More valuable than money, more powerful than action, your attention determines the shape of your world. Where your attention goes, your energy flows, and what you continually energize, you breathe into form. You are not merely a passive witness to life. You are a creative force, and the spotlight of your awareness is the tool by which you sculpt your reality. Nothing grows in your life unless you have in some way nourished it with attention. What you give your awareness to, you give life to. This is not symbolic, it is law. If you constantly observe lack, speak of it, feel it, and worry over it, you invite it deeper into your world. If you rehearse limitation in your mind, it becomes more real to you than opportunity ever could. This is how people unknowingly build cages around themselves, not with chains, but with focus. What you focus on expands, whether it is wanted or not. Your inner world responds to your dominant attention, not to your fleeting hopes. To master your life, you must become the guardian of your attention. You must notice where your mind habitually drifts and consciously guide it back to what you desire. Every thought is a seed, and your attention is the water. You cannot afford to water weeds and expect roses to grow. It is not enough to occasionally imagine the good. You must withdraw your life force from what you do not wish to experience. Withdraw from what you do not wish to see grow. Do not feed your fears with stories. Do not energize pain with repeated focus. This does not mean denial. It means discipline. It means choosing not to dwell in the states that do not serve your highest vision. It means you stop identifying with what drains you and begin aligning with what uplifts you. You must starve what you wish to vanish and feed only that which you want to flourish. There is great power in refusal. When you no longer engage with doubt, when you no longer participate in the mental theater of limitation, you take your energy back. You stop propping up the illusions that keep you small. And as your attention begins to orbit around possibility, peace, love, and abundance, those things take root and begin to manifest. This practice is not always easy. The world constantly shouts for your attention, news, opinions, fears, distractions, but you must ask yourself, what am I empowering with my focus? What future am I creating with the things I continually think about, talk about, and emotionally react to? That question is sacred. It determines the course of your life. Your attention is the builder of worlds. With it, you can construct a reality of beauty, purpose, and fulfillment, or one of doubt, struggle, and fear. But the power is always in your hands. Choose wisely. Let your focus reflect not the world you see, but the world you intend to create. You need not fight what you don't want. Just stop feeding it. Let it wither in your absence. Turn instead to your vision, your dream, your highest self. Keep your awareness there. Saturate your mind with it. Return to it again and again until it becomes the only truth you recognize. Your attention is sacred. Treat it as such. Persist regardless of the evidence. Do not be deceived by what your senses show you, for the physical world is not the source of your reality, it is merely the echo. Every circumstance, every event, every condition you see around you is the delayed shadow of a previous state of consciousness. It is not the cause, but the result. And to become a conscious creator, you must understand this timeless truth. The world bends not to your effort, but to your assumption. And assumptions take time to mature in form. It is tempting to look at your current situation and accept it as fact, to say this is just the way things are, and allow the evidence to dominate your belief. But doing so is to surrender your creative power to appearances. It is to forget that what is seen is temporary, and what is unseen, your inner conviction, is eternal. The outer world does not respond instantly because it follows the rhythm of gestation. Like a seed planted in the soil, your assumption must be nurtured through time, patience, and unwavering attention. Maintain focus. Do not plant the seed today and dig it up tomorrow to see if it's growing. Do not affirm your vision for a moment and then abandon it at the first sign of contradiction. Reality does not change because you wish it to. It changes when your inner state becomes immovable, when you persist in the unseen regardless of what is shown. The world will test you, not to punish you, but to see if you truly believe. Those who manifest are not those who never doubt. They are those who return again and again to the vision within. They feel from the end, not the middle. They see beyond appearances. When the bank account looks empty, they still assume abundance. When love feels distant, they still live from the feeling of being cherished. When the body feels weak, they embody vitality in their imagination. And slowly, surely, the world catches up to the inner truth. This is not about ignoring reality, but about choosing the reality you wish to embody. You are not a puppet of circumstance, you are the author of it. And persistence is the ink. You must write your story not once, but continually. Every time you imagine the wish fulfilled, you strengthen the bridge between the inner and the outer. Every time you hold fast to the desired state, even while reality remains unchanged, you deepen your alignment with the truth you have chosen. The mistake most make is reacting to appearances. They assume what they see is final, but nothing you see is final. It is old news. The current picture is a photograph of your past thoughts, your past emotions, your past focus. If you don't like it, change the film, change the frame, shift your attention and hold it. Be unmoved by delay, be loyal to the unseen. The world will bend, it must, it is law, but it will only bend when you refuse to bend. When you stand in your assumption with quiet certainty, the evidence will eventually align. Until then, persist, not with force, but with faith, not with struggle, but with stillness. That is the secret. The real world is the one you dwell in within. All else will follow. What you focus on, you win. This is the unshakable truth. Your inner world is not a passive playground. It is the architect of your life. Each thought, each feeling, each assumption is a blueprint. What you consistently dwell upon, you build. You are not subject to the outer world unless you give it your power. The law is simple and certain. Hold the vision, feel it real, and persist until it hardens into fact. Do not waver. Do not negotiate with appearances. The world bends to the focused and faithful. You are not here to chase or beg or wait. You are here to choose. Choose the state. Assume the end. Withdraw your attention from what you do not wish to see and pour your energy into what you love. Let your attention become sacred. Let your imagination become holy ground. If you can hold the state within, the world must reflect it without. This is the path of those who create deliberately, live consciously, and win silently. Thank you for walking this path of inner mastery. Thank you for choosing to see with the eyes of faith. Stay focused, stay still, and remember, it's already yours.